Hello everybody, I've got yet more mods for you. This one's a little bit different though, because it's not just a collection, it's themed. I put a lot of these mods together under the idea that they would give you a certain experience, and this time, it's survival. And the biggest mod you've probably seen already is that we're not on a default farm. Here I have the Survival Island farm. This one's pretty popular. I've seen a few other YouTubers use it. It has a lot of extra things, like if we go in here, there's actually a minecart access straight from your farm. And down here is where you'll have the fruit bats or the mushrooms. You might see all this land and be like, well, that's a lot of grass, not a lot of farming space. Well, actually, this is your farming space. I believe just about anything can be farmed on other than like the bridges and stones and stuff like that. So I'd say it's not quite as good as the default farm, but it's still decent. Probably even to the river farm if I were to guess. This does utilize Nico's extended tool set, so you'll see some things like the, what do you call these? Pond hot dogs, waterfalls and stuff like that. And I guess just to top that off with the way that the farm looks, obviously there's a mod changing that. It's rosier colored glasses. Basically everything becomes a little bit, well, rosier, and the effect can be a bit much, but I'd say earthy recolor is a good alternative if this is a bit much for you, but it does achieve a certain kind of aesthetic that I really like, as well as changing the grass textures just a tiny bit. Pretty much everything has been changed by this, like all of these icons except for certain ones that just haven't changed, like the tools, but all of your artisan goods and everything have been changed as well. Something else here might have caught your eye, and that's the theme. I have a water meter and a hunger meter down here. This is the survivalistic mod. It's very basic, it adds a water and hunger meter. That's about it. Every item that you can eat increases each of them by a certain amount, and doing certain tasks such as swinging a pickaxe or swinging your axe actually uses up a little bit of those meters as well, and they decrease a lot faster than your energy. So you do need to keep an eye on it. And just to give you some examples of how things fill, if I eat this field snack, which is probably one of the earliest eating items you can get, it fills up food just a tiny bit. However, if you have a food that's like, let's say pale broth, where it's obviously very liquidy, it'll increase both of them by quite a bit too. And just for comparison's sake, omelet, you can see the exact amounts it increases. Omelet increases just hunger by a lot. I don't know if 35 is the full amount. Something like cranberry sauce would probably increase water as well. Yep, and of course things like coffee, which you'll probably be drinking a ton anyway, is a refill. I believe it's a full refill on water as well, because it's specifically a drink. So keep that in mind while going about. These keep you on your toes, and it also probably makes the very early game a lot harder, because the penalty for running out of hunger or water, all right, here we go, water's at 1, and you'll notice once it hits 0, my energy will start decreasing on its own. And if I were to do something that would use up water, now it's using a lot more energy every time I swing, so that's something you need to keep in mind. Let me just go ahead and fix that real quick, just to show you. This is how much coffee refills. It's the full thing, so it's pretty powerful. I also have cheese, which I imagine will do a lot of food. Not that much, actually. Wow, that didn't help. Anyway, since hunger and thirst is a problem, I've added a little bit of a boost to your energy management with a mod called Let Me Rest. If you are standing still or sitting down on a chair, your energy will slowly refill. So you don't have to eat just for energy, you can better allocate your food for hunger or thirst. I thought this would be a nice touch also because in survival games, this is a mechanic. And speaking of survival mechanics, so you know how you can press shift to go slower? Well, sprinting mod uses up a little bit of energy as you run around, but it gets you moving. Let's use this sprint mod real quick to get to a spot that I also want to show you. There's another cave down here. Let me just break this real quick. You'll notice that some of the sprites from the rosier colored glasses didn't quite carry on. Mostly the things that were added from Daisy Nico's tile sheet. So that's a little unfortunate. We have a spa. And of course, as you can guess, sitting here increases your energy really fast because it's also combining that with standing. So that's a quick energy refill if you need it. So you shouldn't be going energyless at the very least while going around here. For some of the other mods that I've added, we're actually going to have to wait until nighttime, so I'll see you here in a second. So in most survival games, after the sun sets, you are no longer safe. There's usually a ton of monsters that spawn in an effort to get you to hole up, build a base, something like that. I decided to implement something similar to that into this game, and while yes, there is a system already that spawns a few monsters, I decided to take it to the next level. The Monster Invasion, wow, that was perfectly timed. The Monster Invasion mod lets you customize the amount of monsters that you want to spawn on your farm and at what time they spawn. And the amount that spawns does scale with your level, so the higher you level up, the more monsters and harder monsters that you're going to find. And imagine me not with an infinity blade, I'd be taking a lot more damage than I am now. So this is something to maybe put you in action, get you ready to go to bed a little bit earlier. Or maybe an easy way to train your combat a bit. I've got one more for you. I haven't made any changes to the town because I wanted this to be focused on the farm and kind of being on your own and survival. If you want to take that a step further, then you can have the Shop Anywhere mod. This allows you to pull up any shop whenever you want from the comfort of your farm, really letting you embrace the staying alone part of the game. And let's see, merchant, any day. There's a few upsides to this, but of course, if you want to impose the fact that you're going to be alone all the time, I'd say that's an alright downside. And there's even things that aren't in the game to begin with. Like if we press this S shop, I have no idea what it's supposed to be, but it's just great items. Like I guess it's just some kind of mineral shop. You can even access your bundles whenever you want. Of course, I haven't unlocked them yet, so it just shows that. You can go to the Oasis whenever you want, even from day one. So a lot of upsides, but that's really if you want to just stay on the farm forever and you have everything accessible to you except for really friendship stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. If there's any mods that you want to see me cover, please let me know. See you all next time and good night.